Hello everyone, welcome back to SAT Math Week 6. This one is the last lecture for the level 3 to 4. So jumping straight into it, we'll be doing two sections today, right angles and trigonometry, and circles. Okay, so this question here, in triangle XYZ, angle Z is a right angle and the length of YZ is 24 units. If the tangent of x is equal to 12 over 35, what is the perimeter of triangle XYZ? Okay, so to solve this problem, we actually just have to figure out what tangent x actually equals to in terms of the lengths of the triangle. Now, in this case, tangent x will equal yz over xz. And again, using SOHCAHTOA, we know that tangent is opposite over adjacent. Now, plugging in what we're given, we can plug in tangent x for 12 over 35 and also yz for 24. Now, when we solve for xz, again, you can just cross multiply and divide, and we'll end up with 70. And in order to find the perimeter, we have to find the lengths of the other angles as well, which in this case is xy, the hypotenuse is what we're missing. And to do that, we just use Pythagorean theorem. For time, I'm just going to show you the calculations. But once you have that, we have the perimeter, add everything up, and you'll get 168. Okay, next question, we have the value of k. So we have triangle XYZ, angle Y is a right angle, and the measure of angle Z is 33. The length of YZ is 26 units. If the area of the triangle is represented by k tangent 33 degrees, where k is a constant, what is the value of k? So again, same thing as the last question, we have tangent z equals xy over yz, and we can just plug in 33 degrees for tangent, and we can also plug in 26 for yz. Both of these are given. And we know area of a triangle is base times base and divided by 2, or base times height divided by 2. And we can actually just plug that in. Now, again, yz is given as 26, and xy is 26 times tangent 33 degrees. And once you simplify, you're only getting 338 tangent of 33 degrees. And again, k is multiplied by tangent of 33, which is why k is 338. Okay, what is volume? This triangle ABC shows a right angle. Sine B equals 5 over 13. What is the side length of BC? Now again, sine of B equals AC over AB. Plug in everything we're given. AC equals 10. Pythagorean theorem. And we'll solve it out, and we'll get 24. Okay, this is one of the more difficult questions, and you will most likely see something like this on the SAT, where we have the perimeter of an isosceles right triangle, and we have, the same number, 18 plus 18 times root 2. Now, this is one of the special triangles. You actually will be given this formula on the SAT. And if you have an isosceles right triangle, it will automatically be this 45, 45, 90 triangle no matter what. Now, because we're working with perimeter here, we know that perimeter here is x plus x times root 2, which also simplifies to x times 2 plus root 2. Now we'll just equal those to each other, and we'll solve for x. Now, the way to solve this problem completely is to multiply both top and bottom by the denominator, except we'll do minus instead of plus, and that is to cancel out those square roots and essentially just get 2. So once you simplify everything, you'll get 18 times root 2 over 2, which will end up being 9 root 2. Now, we're going to plug this x in back into the hypotenuse. And x equals 9 times root 2. So we'll do 9 times root 2 times root 2, which equals 18. Okay, we have a right triangle shown here. Now this question here actually uses the other special triangle, 30, 60, 90. This one, again, will also be given. And we know that h is 2x, and it's also 54. So x equals 27. Tangent of A is opposite over adjacent, meaning it would be x root 3 over x. So when you have that, it doesn't really matter what x is. It will always just cancel out and equal root 3. Okay, moving on to circles. There'll always be 1 or 2 circle questions on the SAT. So please be familiar with that. You don't want to lose a point or two. You know, when they really shouldn't be too difficult. So this question here, a circle in the xy plane has its center at -1, 1. The line T is tangent to the circle at the point 5, -4. Which of the following points also lies on line T? So we have our center, and it goes to point 5, -4. So in order to find that distance, we just need to find slope, because that is the radius here. And the line is tangent to the circle, meaning it is completely perpendicular to our slope here, to our radius. So that just means we have to do the opposite reciprocal to find that tangent line. And now we just have to pick 2 points that also have a slope of 6 over 5. Now in this case, you can use 10, 2, and you'll find that this has 6 over 5, meaning this is our correct answer. Length of QR. So points R, Q and R lie on a circle with center P. The radius of the circle is 9 inches. Triangle QRP is inside of the circle, with points Q and R lying on the circle, and has a perimeter of 31 inches. What is the length of QR? Okay, so just a visual representation. Yeah, so when you have two radii, we know that our perimeter of our triangle is PQ plus PR plus QR. And because Q and R lie on the circle, we know that PQ and PR are the same length, is equal to the same length as the radius, meaning they're also the same. The radius is given as 9, meaning to find the hypotenuse is just 31 minus 18, 9 plus 9, which equals 13. A length of arc ABC. So we have the circle above center O, and the length of the arc ADC is 5 pi, with the degrees being 100 degrees for this arc. Now we need the length of the arc ABC, which is the other one. Now, because we know arc ADC has a length of 5 pi and 100 degrees, we don't know the length, but we do know that it must be 260 degrees on the other arc. So again, we can just set up this formula to cross multiply. So I did S as a variable. It doesn't matter what the variable is. So S over 5 pi equals 260 over 100. And you'll find that S equals 13 over 5 times 5 pi, which equals 13 pi. Okay, what is the radius for this question? We have a graph of x squared plus x plus y squared plus y equals 199 over 2. So you might be really confused on what to do here, but we pretty much have to find a way to simplify this x squared plus x and y squared plus y as much as possible. And the easiest way to do that is to complete the square. And we can do that by adding 1/4 to both equations. And in doing so, you can simplify it to x plus 1/2 squared plus y plus 1/2 squared. And you can also just add 199 over 2 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. And that will actually simplify to 200 over 2, or 100. And we can just match this to the circle formula. And again, we're only looking for radius here. So we know that r squared equals 100 and r equals 10. Okay, last question for today. Point F lies on a unit circle. So for those of you unfamiliar with the unit circle, you should have it memorized, especially for not just SAT, but for pre-calc and AP calculus, and maybe AP pre-calculus as well if your school offers that. So it is something you should memorize. I don't believe they'll give you the unit circle on the SAT, so you should know it. But point F lies on coordinate 1, 0. Point G is the center at 0, 0. Point H lies in the coordinates -1, y. And what could the positive measure of angle FGH be in radians? So because we were dealing with the unit circle, there's only a radius of 1, which makes it simpler for us, and we start off in the center at 0, 0, so no h or k needed as well. H is -1, y, meaning we can just plug that in, and we'll find that y equals 0. Because f is 1, 0, FH will lie on the positive x-axis, and that means GH will be on the negative x-axis. So in order to find the positive measure, we have to check for the full rotation. So for a unit circle, when you add 2 pi, you pretty much do a 360. And you can do that with the formula pi plus 2 pi k. Now, because we're using this formula, we can't use these two options here, because when you have pi plus 2 pi times k, you'll have an odd number because you'll always be adding by that pi. Now, these two are decimals, so that doesn't work. But what we do know is that 25 pi is an odd number, which works here and is our correct answer. So that is it for today's lecture. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave questions in the comments below. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe.